Just a heads up, the following fanfic is angsty and depressing, so if you're not into that, you have been warned. It was quiet when he woke up. No one was in the room aside from Hitoshi himself, though that was just fine with him. If he had to have another doctor or nurse or whatever hovering over him around the bed he was stuck in, he was going to scream. It was dark too, easily dark enough to mean it was late in the night. Great. Hitoshi looked out the window, the stars twinkling down at him mockingly. A shooting star flew past, and Hitoshi gritted his teeth in frustration and despair. The universe was taunting him. He was sure of it. He looked away, his gaze shifting to where his legs were under the stark white blanket. He hated this. He hated this so much. How had everything gone so wrong so fast? Literally only a few days ago, Hitoshi would have smiled at the sight of a shooting star, making a wish on it like everyone else. But now, what was the point? The only thing he ever wished for was now out of his reach forever, and there was absolutely nothing he could do to change that. Hitoshi cursed as Aizawa threw him onto the ground after countering his attack attempt. Aizawa chuckled as the exercise match between them was decided, before extending a hand to help Hitoshi back to his feet. Hitoshi dusted himself off, grumbling a little. It had been a tiring day, and he was a little more frustrated than usual at his apparent lack of progress. "Hey, don't sell yourself short on that one," Aizawa commented a moment later. "You almost managed to land a proper hit on me this time. If you hadn't had a little step up, you might have had been able to catch me off guard." "Not like it would have done any good. You react to things too quickly," Hitoshi retorted, frowning in mild irritation as he untangled his arm from his own version of Aizawa's capture weapon. Aizawa shrugged nonchalantly. "Maybe so, but remember, I have several more years on even those in the hero course. Someone like you, who's never really received any formal training, would have a hard time catching up regardless." His expression was his usual stoic mask and indifference, but Hitoshi could hear the hint of something more gentle in his tone. Aizawa sighed, before reaching up to ruffle Hitoshi's hair teasingly, startling Hitoshi slightly. "Still, like I said earlier, don't sell yourself short," he said, a lot more encouragingly this time. "Your progress is nothing to laugh at, and you've come a long way from how you were at the sports festival." "Are you really sure though? I still can't use I still can't even use the binding cloth properly," Hitoshi asked apprehensively, honestly not as confident in his skills as his mentor was. Yeah, he had been training under Aizawa for a while now, but so far it seemed like he messed up one way or another every session. Aizawa never held back his criticisms, but Aizawa let out a long, exasperated sigh. He pinched the bridge of his nose, clearly contemplating what to say. Hitoshi spent enough time around the underground pro hero to know that by now. Aizawa soon dropped his hand, giving Hitoshi a firm but not hostile glare. "Look, Shinso, I told you before, I'm not someone who wastes my time on people I don't think are worth the effort," he declared boldly, without a single shred of doubt in his voice. "You lack training and experience. something all the students of the hero course had long before I started training you. But you have the potential to make it big if you use it right. Keep this up, and there'll be a very real chance for you to get into the hero course like you wanted. Hitoshi couldn't help the swell of pride and hope upon hearing those words. Aizawa was known for his high expulsion rates and harsh teachings, so for him to be saying things like that, it made Hitoshi feel a lot better about achieving his dream of becoming a pro hero. Aizawa seemed to notice, giving him a knowing smirk. Well, you seem like you've cheered up. Shall we continue? Yes, sir. End of flashback. Thinking about it now, it felt stupid to hope. It was all too good to be true, wasn't it? All his life people told him he was probably gonna end up a villain at best, and acted so careful around him, as if he would do something terrible to them, even without provocation. Hitoshi had wanted to prove them all wrong, so badly that just because his quirk was more stereotypically villain-like, he wasn't going to end up like a villain. He didn't want to hurt people. He wanted to help them, to save them, to become a hero. But now he couldn't anymore. All because some stupid driver thought he was sober enough to get behind the wheel of a car. The doctors told him that he had been lucky to be alive, given how serious the accident itself had been. The vehicle had crashed into Hitoshi before it collided into the traffic light he had been waiting at, and Hitoshi's legs and back had been all but crushed upon the impact. He remembered screaming his lungs out in pure agony. The pain was overwhelming. It was a miracle he didn't pass out immediately. Someone nearby had called an ambulance and the police, and then after that, Hitoshi only remembered the faint sounds of sirens before completely blacking out. Apparently, he had been in surgery for a few hours before he finally woke up to a crying Midoriya and a solemn Aizawa. At that point, he couldn't remember what happened, and they had to fill him in. Aizawa had the unfortunate task of relaying what the doctor told him, and part of Hitoshi almost wished he had died in the accident, paralyzed from the waist down. The damage had been so severe that not even Recovery Girl, who had managed to fix Midoriya's shattered arms after the events of the sports festival and the infamous training camp incident, had been able to do anything about it. Hitoshi's lower spine had taken the brunt of the impact, the worst, which resulted in the paralysis. He would never fully recover and would be stuck in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Shinso Hitoshi was nothing short of devastated. He remembered crying. He remembered screaming. He remembered Midoriya crying and saving him in time, despite having apparently been at the scene. He remembered Aizawa dropping his stoic facade and wrapping his arms around Hitoshi, holding him tightly and trembling uncontrollably, unable to say anything to deny the harsh reality that had literally crashed into his life. Everything had fallen apart. His greatest hopes and dreams, his one wish in life, gone just like that. All of Aizawa's time and effort spent on him was a waste after all. Not all wishes could be fulfilled. He was never going to become a hero. Hello guys, so yeah, that was a sad one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're some masochistic freak like I am, I like to cry sometimes. It's the healthy cry. You know what I mean? Like you clean the windows to your soul, some shit like that. Well, anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this reading, and leave a like, subscribe, and request on the comments below. See you next time.